try to keep it coming. Things ain't always smooth. Oh, but I'll be alright as long as I can find the good. Yes, I will. Yeah. Somehow I know that I can make it. You seem to like my style. All right. Don't you worry, I'm gonna be around a while. Yes, I will. I'm just happy to see you. Talk to me back in style again.
Live from historic Leimert Park in Los Angeles, California, I'm Tavis Smiley, and I'm so glad to see you and me back in stride again. Before we get started with today's show, let me invite you to follow me on Facebook and Instagram at The Real Tavis Smiley and get updates on X, that's formerly Twitter, at Tavis Smiley. By the way, should you miss any part of today's program or want to catch up on previous shows, you can always visit thetavissmileyshow.com. That's thetavissmileyshow.com or wherever you get your podcast and listen to the Tavis Smiley podcast version of this live program at your leisure. Another great show on tap for you today. There is, at the start of today's program, some sad, and I do mean very, very sad, breaking news about another African-American icon who has passed away just this morning. I'll get to that in just a second after I tell you that in our second hour today, Shirley Sherrod, the former Obama administration leader, knows something about being targeted by the far right. We'll hear her story and how she had to fight back to find some semblance of justice. Shirley Sherrod with an amazing story of what it means to be targeted by the far right. In our second hour. In our third hour, two conversations. Up first, we'll mark 50 years since the controversial end of America's first paramedic program. As portrayed in the Emmy-winning series The Pit, we'll be joined by two special African-American guests to talk about, again, the very controversial end, and it was indeed controversial, end of America's first paramedic program out of Pittsburgh. We'll talk about that on the top side of hour three. On the B side of hour three, Tony Award-nominated actor Charles Brown talks about the new Broadway supergroup, the Doo-Wop Project. We'll talk to Charles Brown on the B side of hour three. In this first hour, two more conversations. On the B side, we'll talk with hip-hop professor A.D. Carson about the fallout of being on Charlie Kirk's watch list. We start today's program in a moment talking government shutdown with the economist, Dr. Julianne Malveaux. Before I get to any of that, though, my phone started ringing early this morning in the dead of night, essentially. I was still dead asleep. And my phone starts ringing from a number of persons in the family of the now, sadly, late, great D'Angelo. D'Angelo has passed away after a battle with cancer. I'm told at a hospital in New York, I think Sloan Kettering. But I hate to bring you that news. D'Angelo has passed away. The news is just breaking literally at this moment. It'll be everywhere, I'm sure, in a few minutes. And so we started searching early this morning, called my team, woke them up, and we started searching for one of my conversations with D'Angelo. It turns out, I am told, that this was likely his last in-depth conversation. I sat with D'Angelo on PBS for not one, but two nights. I rarely did that. But I did a 2-night conversation with D'Angelo because he spoke so rarely. I knew when I got him, I had to work him. And I recalled at the end of the first taping for the first night, I asked him, I begged him, would he sit for just another 30 or 40 minutes? And he agreed to do that. And so we ended up with a 2-hour conversation with D'Angelo on PBS. Tomorrow, we're going to bring you the best of that conversation. I can tell you right now, we're working the rest of the day to bring you that last in-depth conversation with D'Angelo on tomorrow's show. But now here's just a taste of that conversation.
Started out back in the day as an MC, so hip hop is very much in the nucleus of what I do. And it's all about being true to yourself, or at least the type of hip hop that I grew up with. Mm-hmm. That's what it's about. And to me, the strongest, most gangster, most revolutionary motivation on this planet is love. Mm-hmm. Period. So I if you're really being pure about that, there's nothing to hide or be ashamed of. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So.
See, love. I mean, I am always amazed by this, and it sounds like a simple enough point to make, and I suspect it is. And yet, I am always blown away by how inexhaustible the notion of love is when it comes to art. That true artists, all these years later, still find ways to talk about love, to write about love, to sing about love. It's such an inexhaustible subject. The challenge, of course, is to find your own unique way to do it.
That's right.
So when you go into the studio from one project to the next, does the stuff come to you with any sort of ease, or are you struggling to figure out what the next iteration of your work is going to be? How do you figure that out from one project to the next?
Yeah, you never struggle. Prince told me one time, I was finishing up Voodoo, and I was, you know, kind of stuck. Like I was almost done, but stuck at a little. And he told me, and I was on the phone with him. I was like, you know what? I think. And he said, don't think. That's it. Don't think. Thank you. It just takes a lot of that struggle out of it.
Yeah.
And so you just
be.
Yeah. You shut it down. Shut your mind. Shut all that down.
Yeah.
And just let it come through you.
Yeah.
You know, and if it's real, if it's pure, and if it's true, if you just stand true to you, it's gonna be good.
What do you love most about performing live? Because when I see you on stage, it's like that's like heaven for you. That's what it looks like to me and feels like to me.
You got it right, man. And you know, the business, a lot of times the road, it can be very, very stressful and hectic, and there's a lot coming at you. But that's the one place, that's the one time when I know I'm in the driver's seat. I'm driving, you know.
You ride the track.
I'm riding it, and I'm riding the track like Cadillac. And the band, I'm playing this band, this amazing band with these amazing musicians. And yes, I think during all of the rigmarole and all of that, that's the most freeing time. That's the time I feel the most free.
Yeah.
And the most, I would say, not in control, but just like I'm driving the car.
Yeah.
We're just wrapping our heads around the death of D'Angelo, so young. Tomorrow we'll reprise that entire conversation, I suspect, on this program. But D'Angelo has passed away in the city of New York, I believe, at Sloan Kettering Hospital after a battle with cancer. More of Tavis, Smiley, when we come forward.
Baby, let's cruise away from here. Don't be confused, baby. The way is clear. And if you want it, you got it forever. Oh, just not a one night stand.
Interrogating and unpacking. That's what we do around here. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Hey, KBLA 1580 delegation, your health matters to us. We know that information is power, especially when it comes to prevention and treatment. That's why we're proud to introduce the brand new KBLA Health and Wellness Hub. This online space is built just for you, connecting our community to trusted health resources, culturally relevant care, and even access to diverse clinical trials and emerging therapies. Whether you're looking for information on common conditions, mental health support, or just want to stay on top of your wellness journey, we got you. And the best part, it's all on our website at kbla1580.com. Accessible, empowering, community-focused. So just go to kbla1580.com and click on the Health and Wellness Hub icon, because knowledge is power and your health is everything. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Make a move into a home of your own. With City National Bank's Ladder Up Home Loan Grant, you could receive up to $20,000 that you never need to pay back. Use it toward your down payment, save on closing costs, or to buy down your mortgage rate. Find out more at cnb.com/ladderuphome. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Property must be in a qualifying market in California, New York, or New Jersey. Additional terms and conditions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. Terms are subject to change without notice. City National Bank is an equal housing lender. Member FDIC. NMLS number 536994.
It's Cybersecurity Awareness Month. LifeLock is here with tips to help protect your identity. Use strong passwords, set up multi-factor authentication, report scams, and update your software. And for comprehensive identity protection, LifeLock is your best choice. LifeLock alerts you to suspicious uses of your personal information and fixes identity theft, guaranteed, or your money back. Start your protection today with a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy place every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Made fresh daily in Leimert Park, Los Angeles, California. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Whoa, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. Whoa, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, ooh, ooh. When I first saw you, baby, I wanted you down. Me and those dream eyes of mine started to cry in a dream. Wishing my fantasy should become a reality. Every time I see you, baby, all I do is sigh. 'Cause you're the most precious thing, baby, I never dreaming I was ever seen. So I continue to dream, me and those dreaming eyes of mine.
We are sad to report today on this program at the outset that the amazing artist D'Angelo has passed away at the age of 51 after a battle with cancer. We believe he was at Sloan Kettering in New York City. I talked to a number of friends this morning, all-star music friends who went to visit him in his final days. I'm sure they'll be talking about that in the days to come, so I'm not putting their business out. But the phone started ringing early this morning when word came that he had passed away in New York City, again, at the age of 51. Just talked to my team, and so we are, in fact, going to reprise that last in-depth D'Angelo conversation tomorrow in the first hour. We don't normally go that way in the first hour, but it's D'Angelo, y'all. So we're gonna lead tomorrow's program in tribute to D'Angelo in our first hour on Wednesday. So there you have that. We're going to play some of the best of D'Angelo all 3 hours today to get ready for that tribute tomorrow. So I'm going to just weave in and out of these conversations today with these great guests with the best of D'Angelo's music, all 3 hours of today's program. I thank Dr. Julianne Malveaux for her patience. She understands how breaking news works. I've been in this business a very long time. Thanks for your patience, Doc. How are you doing today?
I'm good. You?
Yeah, sad news, obviously. Sad news. But all things considered, me, I'd be an ingrate if I complain. So I'm doing okay. I wanted to have you on because this is not your first government shutdown. And certainly it's not my government shutdown, as I recall. We've talked a couple of times over the course of our careers during government shutdowns. But this one, I sense, feels a little different for you. In what ways?
First of all, there seems to be no wiggle room on either side, but the Republicans own this. What's especially interesting about this shutdown, Tavis, is the way that Republicans are attempting to spin it. Well, they have all three houses and the court for that matter, but they're attempting to spin it as it's a Democrat shutdown. Mm-hmm. But they have gone further than spin it. They have people who work at the Department of Education who are furloughed. They may have put a message on their email saying, I'm out of the office. Well, the trolls have come back and said, I'm out of the office because of the Democrat shutdown. Mm-hmm. So the people didn't put that on their email. Somebody did.
Yeah.
Similarly, they got pictures of Kristi Noem at airports with a message that TSA gives your safety a priority. Please be patient because of the Democrat shutdown. So you really see a lot of blaming using social media and other venues as a blaming with a vehemence. The next part of this that's unusual, sending the Congress home, Tavis. Sending them home. So ordinarily in a shutdown, you'd see people scurrying around the Hill, trying to meet with their colleagues, trying to figure something out. No, Mike Johnson, Lil Mike, sent the Republican members of Congress home. Now, many Democrats are here. I spoke to Congresswoman Alma Adams yesterday. She's coming in today. Democrats are trying to work, but why are Democrats out? You know, the basic logic, as we all know, is a continuing resolution just says business goes on as usual. So you're not cutting anything, you're not increasing anything, just business goes on as usual. So how come they couldn't do that? Done it twice, well, at least once this year, did it regularly during the any administration. That's usually when you get to shutdown point, you do a CR. However, this CR is especially important because the Obama subsidies to the ACA run out of December 31st.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to make health decisions sometime between November and December. You'll get something in the mail that says your whatever is going to go up by so many dollars. Do you want that? It's the open enrollment period. Do you want to keep that insurance or do you want to get another kind? In which case, then you have to do your research, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Well, if people don't get that information, they're stuck.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is unusual. This is why the Democrats are saying, Hakeem Jeffries has said, we need an agreement now. And all of this takes effect on January 1st. So Lil Mike Johnson is saying, well, we have plenty of time. No, you don't have plenty of time when people are trying to make healthcare decisions for 2026. And they can't do that unless they have the numbers in front of them. And they will have the numbers in front of them unless there's a decision made about the ACA subsidies. So that's what makes this shutdown especially interesting. Interesting is a good word for everything.
Yeah.
But it makes it just more pressing and much more different.
Yeah. I wonder whether I've asked this question of others. I asked this question a couple of weeks ago when this government shutdown was being teed up. I asked a couple of guests then whether or not healthcare was a winning issue. Is this the issue? Is this the hill, so to speak, you want to die on if you're a Democrat? And to a person, I recall asking that question of a couple people. Everybody said yes at that time. We got a little bit of a distance in the rear view mirror now, if I can say it. So I asked you that question. Some days later, is healthcare the right issue for Democrats to have drawn the line in the sand on?
I think absolutely. Everybody needs healthcare. Tavis, what we know from it's an old study, 2009,
Mm-hmm.
but it still is very telling. It said over 44,000 people died from lack of health care in 2009. Over 44,000 people. And we know the stories of the people who delayed going to the doctor because, they didn't know if they could afford it.
Mm-hmm.
People who, and not to mention the numbers of the thousands of people who get health care through the emergency room. These
Mm-hmm.
are people who go to the emergency room because they don't have a doctor and they don't have health insurance. Everybody needs health care. So I think it is a hill. I think that almost everybody can relate to the health care issue, unless you're making mid to high six figures. Everybody can relate to that. Go to an emergency room, actually, and then when you get the bill, scream if you don't have health care health insurance, because it will be thousands where your copay might have been $50.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think it's the right hill to die on. I think it's one. See, cancer doesn't just hit Democrats.
Yeah.
It hits Democrats and Republicans. Every illness you can think of, they don't take a partisan census to say how many Democrats died from X.
Yeah, I got you.
So therefore, I think even Republicans can relate to this.
Yeah. I've maintained, I don't think you and I disagree on this, that the more pain that's inflicted upon his base, the more they're going to, if not see the light, then feel the heat. I mean, by they, Republicans, of course, the more they'll see the light, or the more they'll feel the heat. And there was some evidence of that on Sunday. Yesterday on this program, I can't cue it up fast enough. We've been going through all this D'Angelo stuff, getting ready for this tribute to him, given his passing. In case you just tuned in, we started this hour announcing that D'Angelo, the great musical artist, has passed away at the age of 51. I played a short clip of what turns out to be his last in-depth television conversation with me, a two-night conversation, in fact, on my PBS program. So we're going to reprise that for you tomorrow at the top of our program. But I said to yesterday on our program, Julianne, we played a clip of Marjorie Taylor Greene. Everybody knows Marjorie Taylor Greene, and even she was saying that she thinks at this point this shutdown is not going to be good for Republicans. And I think part of her thinking, as I recall from that conversation that we pulled that clip from, was that the more that their base starts to feel this pain, the worse it gets for them. Does that make sense to you? You buy that argument?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think when people are going to start getting these notices about their health care, starting from now, really starts about October 15th, and the open enrollment period goes through early December, maybe December 7th. I'm not sure the exact date. But as people begin to see that their health care, their health insurance is going away, oh yeah, they're going to start feeling the pain. Some estimates, the low estimate is that the premiums may go up between 15 and 20%. But in some areas, people are talking about, double, triple.
Yeah.
For your, and for people of moderate income, that's significant.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think. I hate to agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene on anything.
I get you. Yeah.
But she's making the right noises, and what she actually is doing, and I'll give her credit, is she's protecting her constituents.
Mm-hmm.
But what about these others? Why are you not protecting your constituents?
Yeah.
What are you doing? What are you thinking?
Yeah.
Are you thinking?
Yeah. It's day 14, of course, of this government shutdown. So we're 2 weeks in now. What's your gut tell you, given that there's not been much movement anywhere on anything? So there are two things that I'm wrestling with. One, there's been no movement on either side, really, in this debate about the shutdown. We're 2 weeks in now, number one. Number two, Donald Trump right now is in all of his glory, given what happened yesterday. And if you missed our conversation yesterday with Jeffrey Toobin, you'll want to check out the podcast, and you certainly want to hear the podcast of our dialogue with Cornel West yesterday. Dr. West came a very different ways he always does, looking through a different prism, and you heard some truth yesterday on this program that you won't hear anywhere else. He referred to BB and Donald Trump as posing peacemakers. He quoted the Beatitudes that says, "Blessed are the peacemakers, not the war stoppers." You can stop the war. It doesn't make you a peacemaker. And Donald Trump's got some nerve demanding a Nobel Peace Prize when you went along with the killing of the genocide of tens of thousands, 60, 70, 80,000 people, depending on the numbers you look at, that have been murdered. And now all of a sudden you want a peace prize. Okay, so check out the conversation with Cornel West yesterday on our podcast in case you missed it. But my point, Malveaux, is that there's been no movement 2 weeks into this shutdown on either side, really, number one. And number two, Donald Trump is feeling himself right now. So I can't imagine he has any anxiety today about trying to close this with Democrats. He's going to let this thing ride for a little bit longer. Is your read different than mine?
No, I think you're absolutely right. First of all, he is happier than a pig in doo-doo.
Yeah.
He's and what's strange to me about the whole Gaza, Israel, Hamas situation is that they didn't finish the deal.
Yeah.
They just did part one. You're going to release the living hostages and the remains of the dead ones.
Right. And
there's going to be a ceasefire. That's not peacemaking.
Yeah.
The only reason that man wants a Nobel Prize is because President Obama has one.
That's right. No.
That's the only reason he really wants one.
Yeah.
And plus, he likes to hear the sound of his name, and he's a narcissist and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right, Tavis. I don't think he's going to come down from cloud nine until about Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah. No,
he's really enjoying enjoying his props, which in some cases are misplaced.
Yep. No.
I mean, I believe I saw Dr. West on something. I think
Abby Phillip. Yeah, I saw him too. Yeah.
Yeah, and he, he was bringing it, and like absence of war is not peace.
That's right.
How are these people? How are these people going to coexist?
Yeah.
None of this has been worked out. Furthermore, the man who lived in the house that enslaved people built, how are his agreements binding to the next president?
Mm-hmm.
Because he's not going to be there. He'd like to be there forever, but he's not going to be.
Yeah.
So, how's that going to be binding to the next president?
Yeah.
He's promised a U.S. presence. He's promised a number of things. Some of these are promises that he can't keep.
Yeah. Nope, you're right about that. We'll leave it there for now. Wanted to have Malveaux on again to get her thoughts on the uniqueness. This is no ordinary shutdown, and she and I both agree that Donald Trump, feeling himself right now, is not at all anxious to get back to the table to solve this problem. So this shutdown, I suspect, is going to go on a little bit longer. Dr. Malveaux just mentioned Abby Phillip, and my producers are reminding me that Abby is on this program just a week or so from now. Abby's on this program. She has a new book out. I haven't read it yet, but I'm working my way through it. She has a book out about Jesse Jackson Sr., the real impact of Jesse Jackson. And so we'll have Abby on talking on her Jesse Jackson, her very first book, in fact. I'll be talking to her about Jesse Jackson in just a couple of weeks. And also Corinne Jean-Pierre has her book out. She's on the program in a couple of days. She's got some great guests coming up. And speaking of great guests, we thank Dr. Malveaux for starting us off today. Thanks, Julianne. I'll talk to you soon. All the best to you.
Okay, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. More of Tavis Smiley coming forward.
For all the freedom-loving folk, this is Tavis Smiley.
I feel like freedom.
I'm Tammy Eswick with BIN News Now. Government shutdown. A vote is planned, but there's no sign of a deal in sight. It comes as airports around the country have refused to air a political video by Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem.
Democrats in Congress refuse to fund the federal government.
Democrats say that's simply not true. They're just pushing for better health care for Americans. Well, Louisiana has lost another opportunity to elect a black mayor. Helena Moreno won the race to become New Orleans' next mayor, beating out two black male opponents. Gary Chambers, a social justice advocate, says black leadership in the state has dwindled recently, with only one black mayor remaining in the state in Lake Charles. 8 people are dead in Mississippi in 2 separate shootings that happened during homecoming events this past weekend. The suspects in custody in Leland, Mississippi. Over in Jasper, 2 people arrested, but police say they're still looking for several people in connection with tampering with evidence, including a juvenile. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Every day, a child in poverty waits for a sponsor is another day of hopelessness. There are thousands of kids who've been waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Just text the word radio to 83393.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Dodgers got a marvelous pitching performance from Blake Snell in Game 1 of the National League Championship Series, and then survived a dramatic 9th inning to hold on for a 2-1 win over Milwaukee. Snell was on the mound for 8 shutout innings. He had 10 strikeouts, allowed only 1 hit, and picked off a base runner. Snell is 3-0 in the postseason with a 0.86 earned run average. Reliever Blake Trenton struck out Bryce Terrain to get out of a bases-loaded jam in the bottom of the 9th. Game 2 is tonight in Milwaukee. First pitch at 5 o'clock. The largest attendance over the weekend for an HBCU football game was 44,000. That was the turnout for Jackson State's homecoming game. Jackson State, ranked number 13 in this week's NCAA Division I AA poll, defeated Alabama State 38-34. Next game for Jackson State is Saturday, October 25th in Las Vegas against Grambling. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hi, I'm Jesse Jackson Jr., inviting you to join me weekdays at 12 noon right after Tavis Smiley here on KBLA Talk 1580. As a law school graduate and a theologian with a firm grasp of our body politic given almost 2 decades in Congress, my show is the fresh new home of an authentic, uncompromised quest for transformation and salvation, both personal and collectively, as I vigorously interrogate the theological and symbolic meanings embedded in our society. I promise to leverage my knowledge of history, theology, and both international and domestic issues to imagine an inclusive vision for the future, which I hope will inspire all of us to pursue life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness as a given, not just an aspiration. So join me weekdays at 12 noon right after Tavis Smiley for 2 hours of the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Paid for by government.com. Did you know the United States Mint has issued a new Morgan silver dollar coin in proof condition for the first time? Not only that, they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 400,000 of these legal tender silver dollars were issued. These first ever Morgan silver dollars are brand new with stunning mirror-like finish, minted by the iconic San Francisco Mint. Call now and you're guaranteed a new first ever 99.9% pure silver proof Morgan dollar. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9717. If you order now, you will receive a free coin collector bonus pack, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9717 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-973-9717.
Stop settling for weak sound. It's time to level up your game and bring the boom. Hit the town with the ultra-durable LG X Boom portable speaker and enjoy vibrant sound wherever you go. Elevate your listening experience to new heights because, let's be real, your music deserves it. The future of sound is now with LG X Boom. And for a limited time, save 25% at LG.com with code FALL25. Bring the boom. X Boom.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-259-9922. 800-259-9922. That's 800-259-9922.
Let's get back to more of this rich dialogue with Tavis Smiley.
Let me tell you about the chicken grease. Stuff and things to make the people get out to see. Everybody is good if you wanna clap your hands and come feet. Come on down to the bumper, you can feel the beat. From the left to right, to the back, to the middle, and the front. Don't be uptight, shake it off and do what you want. But let's pump it in the club and get the bit of buzz. I know you love because I'm funky, cause I just want to show you some love. But you my brothers on the avenue. Chicken grill.
When I first heard this track, I reached out to D'Angelo. I called him. I said, Negro, let that ride, Miles. I said, the beat on this thing is so funky. That chicken grease, turn that thing up, man. Turn it up.
Sitting on top of the stove. Simmer, super sizzle like a day. Without wait till the master dip. Let the others go first, so the butters won't miss. Fried till it's burned and crisp. See, we be cooking so the folks.
Man, that bass line and that backbeat, man, that's so funky. In case you haven't heard the sad news, D'Angelo has passed away at the age of 51 after a battle with cancer. We believe he was at Sloan Kettering in New York City, but the story is developing. But I got to awaken early this morning with people in his family to let me know what had happened. And so the story is now out, I'm told, pretty much everywhere. It's building and growing, and later today it'll be everywhere. And tomorrow on this program, we will lead the show in the first hour with one of my favorite conversations with D'Angelo. Turns out, I'm told, to be his last in-depth conversation. And so in our first hour tomorrow, we'll lead with my conversation with D'Angelo, but he has passed away, sadly, at the age of 51. So we're playing some of the best of D'Angelo all 3 hours of our program today, weaving in our conversations with these great guests. But I love that track, Chicken Grease. A.D. Carson, speaking of hip-hop, is professor of hip-hop at University of Virginia. And we're going to talk in a moment here about what it looks like, what it feels like, I should say, to be on the watch list of Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA program. And what life has been like for him since the death of Charlie Kirk. But first, A.D. Carson, give me your thoughts on D'Angelo.
Peace. Thank you so much for having me in. Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting here processing, I imagine like the rest of the world is, such a rich musical legacy. And it's just a reminder, I think, for us. I don't know if there are enough flowers that could have been given to D'Angelo while he was here. But, you know, for us to be sure to pour our love and light, admiration, whatever it may be, into folks while they're on this side to enjoy it. And so I hope that he felt that. I hope that his family feels that. Yeah, it's heavy.
Yeah,
really heavy.
No, speaking of his family, we all recall the news not that long ago that Angie Stone passed away tragically, unexpectedly, in that accident on the freeway down in Georgia. I knew Angie Stone as well, and when she passed away, I dug into the vault and pulled out one of my favorite Angie Stone conversations. Angie Stone and D'Angelo, as you know, had a child together. So that child is now parentless, just that fast. It was just months ago, essentially, that Angie Stone, again, tragically died. So he lost his mother a little while ago. Now he's lost his father. And so we are praying for that entire family, but certainly that son who has lost both of his well-known parents, Angie Stone and now D'Angelo. So it's a sad day for those of us who love his music and appreciated him. So, yeah, our thoughts and prayers go out to the family. But again, we lead tomorrow's program with a reprise of one of my conversations with D'Angelo in tribute to him now that he's passed away at the age of 51. So what's it like when you're on Charlie Kirk's watch list, man?
Well, you know, it is, I mean, I guess if I respected the organization, I'd be able to call it like a badge of honor. But I don't. I think that it's one of these instances where these folks are attempting to, I mean, if you look at a list like that, and in the work that I do, talking about the book is called Being Dope. It's like these folks are trying to snitch on me for being dope. It's like they're going and saying that there's a controlled substance that is running around without a prescription or something like that. And I mean, as if I didn't know it, but also as if others didn't know it. The reason that they have me on their list is because I make music and because I teach about that music, and maybe they don't know how inseparable it is for me to talk about hip hop in the American context or even in an international context at an American university, and then not also talk about race. So what would you have me do in the classroom? Pretend as though race is not part of that discussion? But also, that was my dissertation. That's my work. So even if I am dope and you are actually snitching on me for being such without a prescription, that's the thing that got me here.
Yeah. Speaking of what got you here, what got you on that list? I mean, when you're on the watch list of an organization like Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk's Foundation organization, when you're on a list like that, do they notify you, Professor Carson? We are informing you that you are now on the watch list. I mean, how do you find out you're on the watch list? And to your mind, what were you on the watch list for?
Yeah, so it wasn't somebody from my institution, and you would think that it would be like the folks who, you know, like who you work with, your colleagues or administrators. But no, it was someone online who told me about it, and they, you know, took all of the precautions they could to let me know that that I was there. So then I called one of my senior colleagues to let him know, just in case it needed to be discussed with anybody in the college or at the university. And the reason that I'm on there, I'm saying quite literally, they have excerpts of songs that were a part of my dissertation album that was republished in 2024, and then some public commentary that I made about Ben Shapiro and Tom McDonald's rap song and the weaponization, as I described it, of white male anger and assumptions or stereotypes about hip hop to sell a record. You know, they ended up on the iTunes charts for that song that they put out. And, you know, like my contention was that it's not out of the ordinary for anti-blackness to chart, even if that anti-blackness is on a hip hop music chart.
Yeah. When we come forward, I want to ask you, just tee it up now. What happens when you get on this list? So you get on the list, somebody informs you that you're on the list, you get a chance to check it out, and you see what they've posted, and so you see why you actually made the list. And then what happens? I've been reading about a number of Black professors who are on this, have been on this Turning Point watch list. I mean, he's gone, but the watch list remains. Of course, his wife has said she's going to continue his work. Erica is going to continue his work. So that watch list goes on. And there are a number of professors, many of them African-American, who are in fact on this list, have been on this list, will remain on this list. But what happens when you're on the list? What kind of harassment are you facing on and off campus? Does the university stand behind you? Or do they get more cautious? Are they looking over your shoulder now about your teaching and your writing? What happens when you're on a list like this? We'll get A.D. Carson's response to that when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
From the Mert Park with love, this is Tavis Smiley.
Hello, KBLA delegation. Tavis Smiley here. On Saturday, October 25th, LA Trade Tech becomes the epicenter of ideas that matter. The Left Coast Forum is bringing together voices that challenge, inspire, and illuminate, with keynote presentations from people like noted economist Richard Wolff, the man who breaks down capitalism in ways that make sense to working folk like you and me, and Dr. Cornel West will be there, the brilliant philosopher and activist who never stops fighting for justice and speaking truth to power and to the powerless, for that matter. So this isn't just another conference. This is where ideas get tested, where the conversations that shape our future begin. Multiple plenary sessions, dynamic speakers, real talk about the issues that impact our communities, and then some good food and a live band. Saturday, October 25th, LA Trade Tech, Left Coast Forum. The event is free and open to the public, but you must register at our KBLA1580.com website, where you can also peep the plenary topics. The future belongs to those who show up and engage. So don't just think about change, be part of the conversation that creates it. The Left Coast Forum is brought to you by the LA Progressive, the Empowerment Congress, Community Coalition, Partnership for Growth LA, Southwest Voter Registration Education Project, LA Care Health Plan, United Teachers Los Angeles, Black Progressive Action Coalition, St. John's Community Health, the National Lawyers Guild, the Weingart Foundation, and more. Space is limited, so if I were you, I'd register right now at KBLA1580.com. Your voice matters, your presence matters. We'll see you there.
BET and PBS, the Tom Joyner Morning Show, and NPR, the cover of Jet and the cover of Time. #1 on the New York Times bestsellers list, 20 honorary doctorate degrees, a dozen NAACP Image Awards, a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, a Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. From talk shows to talk radio, nobody's ever done it better. This is Tavis Smiley.
We ask seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol. To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
Sometimes he fails at fitting in, but we're okay with that. You're inside the Tavis Smiley Show.
I finally made my move. I figured I'd give you an update on where I'm at right now.
Call an educated Negro with a BA or an MA or a BS or a PhD. I'll tell you, you call him a nigga, that's what a nigga is.
They say history is written by the victors. So when you see my picture in the book, it'll be consistent with my memory, my victories, my tendencies that tempered me and wintered me cold like.
So, AD Carson, is that is this some of the stuff that got you on the list?
It's in my bloodline. What I do is much deeper than a punchline.
That's my album. There's the Rhetorics of Rhymes and Revolutions, which is the album that I recorded and submitted to get my PhD in 2017 from Clemson University.
Yeah. So the question I posed a moment ago, what does in fact happen when you get on a list like this? I threw a number of questions out, take it as you will, but does your university stand behind you? They start looking over your shoulder. Are you harassed on campus, off campus? When you're on a watch list like Turning Point USA's list, as a hip hop professor at University of Virginia, what happens?
Yeah, well, the harassment precedes the list because of the work that I did in Clemson. And for songs like that one that you heard and the ones that talked about the racial context of an institution like Clemson, and honestly, all particularly, like public American universities, especially the ones that benefited from that convict leasing system, which was the exemption to get out from under the 13th Amendment's supposed emancipation. So there were, I was already receiving threats and people attempting to dox. And so, but yeah, within the past couple of weeks, I've gotten threats, and I don't feel like it's anything new. I mean, I don't know what the institution's response is because I haven't really spoken to anyone, any administrators about it. But, I guess I can't expect that folks don't deal in hypocrisy. When I was at Clemson, there was there were at least 3 instances of the Klan recruiting on campus. And the administration said that was protected speech, that they had the First Amendment right to do so. But just a couple weeks ago, Clemson just fired 2 faculty members and a staff member for retweeting things about Charlie Kirk. UVA, since I've been here, has awarded me a research achievement award for the work that I've done through hip hop. But that doesn't make me believe that someone can't fabricate pretext because I am on that list now, and it might seem imprudent at this moment to say that this is a valuable member of our intellectual community. And so I don't expect protection. One would think that would be the kind of thing that would insulate you, but I just don't put a whole lot of faith in institutions like UVA or Clemson or any of these universities in protecting vulnerable people. And so when folks read what I've been writing publicly about this watch list, or when they read publicly about what I've written about working at UVA or getting my degree from Clemson, it'll seem like I'm writing about now. Like you might pick that book up and say, well, how did this get out? Like how was Oxford able to publish this so quickly? But that's been my life for at least the past decade, and probably before then when I was working in Illinois. And on the one hand, the institution, the school district says, hey, we want you to go and talk to educators statewide about how hip hop can help students achieve in the classroom. And then just a week later, because I did a radio program talking about that work that I do, somebody found a video of mine online, and then they started, a smear campaign. And then the school board is like, well, now we have to investigate whether this is appropriate or not. Like,
yeah. So I want to ask when we come forward, not to cut you off, AD, but I want to ask when we come forward, how hip hop does in fact help students achieve. Because I think some of the pushback, and one of the reasons you're on this list is beyond what you've already shared with us, is that people just kind of look down on the genre as a serious academic pursuit. And so I want to go right to that question: how, in fact, teaching hip hop does in fact help students achieve. We'll get that answer in our remaining moments with AD Carson when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
Helping to stretch your moral and political imagination. This is Tavis Smiley. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about. KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, Black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found benefitscheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. Benefitscheckup.org.
You know where you want to go in life, and City National Bank can help. City National knows the dedication it takes to build your vision for the future into a reality, and our team is here for you. We have a wide range of options to help, from personal savings accounts to interest-bearing money market savings accounts and more, all designed to help you get where you want to go. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Learn more at cnb.com. City National Bank is a subsidiary of Royal Bank of Canada, member FDIC.
Freedom is an endless meeting. So let's get back to it with Tavis Smiley.
Tavis Smiley and AD Carson. I got a tight 2.5 minutes left here. I know that Turning Point USA, on whose watch list AD Carson appears, their group Blexit, that's Candace Owens. Y'all know Candace Owens. They're planning a visit to HBCU campuses during the homecoming season this year. So they're already out there. That scares me. When you got this Blexit group and Candace Owens going to HBCUs, how do you read that right quick, AD Carson?
Yeah, I mean, I think that they're trying to create a spectacle, and I imagine however people engage with it will or will not, create the kind of photo op or the media op that they want. They want a video to go viral, and then they want to pretend as though their free speech is being suppressed by people who disagree with them.
Yeah, and then finally, in the 90 seconds I have left, how does hip hop, teaching hip hop, help students achieve?
Well, I mean, I think that, rigorous participation in hip hop requires folks to to reorganize your neural pathways. You master abilities to instantaneously decode multi-layered phrases and complicated rhyme schemes. You're having to deal with complicated word choices, decoding and encoding, time signatures, expository techniques, rhetorical engagement. I mean, the list goes on. And folks are engaging with all of those things without there being a manual or a book or some kind of like required curriculum for you to do it. So if someone comes into the classroom with all of that, that's a student who has an abundance of resources to be able to bring into the academic situation rather than someone who's lacking in anything.
Yep. His name is A.D. Carson, professor of hip hop, University of Virginia, educated at Clemson. And I'm delighted in having him on for these moments to talk about being on the watch list of Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA organization and getting a sense of what it means when you're on a list and how it impacts your life and your work and your witness. And again, now we know the Turning Points group, Blexit, Candace Owens, is on a tour of Black college campuses in the era of Donald Trump. That's combustible, but I'll leave that right where it is for now.
Yes,
A.D. Carson, good to have you on, my friend. All the best to you, sir.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
My honor. More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Tammy Eswick with BIN News Now. Government shutdown. A vote is planned, but there's no sign of a deal in sight. It comes as airports around the country have refused to air a political video by Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem.
Democrats in Congress refuse to fund the federal government.
Democrats say that's simply not true. They're just pushing for better health care for Americans. Well, Louisiana has lost another opportunity to elect a black mayor. Helena Moreno won the race to become New Orleans' next mayor, beating out two black male opponents. Gary Chambers, a social justice advocate, says black leadership in the state has dwindled recently, with only one black mayor remaining in the state in Lake Charles. 8 people are dead in Mississippi in 2 separate shootings that happened during homecoming events this past weekend. The suspects in custody in Leland, Mississippi. Over in Jasper, 2 people arrested, but police say they're still looking for several people in connection with tampering with evidence, including a juvenile. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Every day, a child in poverty waits for a sponsor is another day of hopelessness. There are thousands of kids who've been waiting over a year. In their wait, sponsor a child with compassion today. Just text the word radio to 83393.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Dodgers got a marvelous pitching performance from Blake Snell in Game 1 of the National League Championship Series and then survived a dramatic 9th inning to hold on for a 2-1 win over Milwaukee. Snell was on the mound for 8 shutout innings. He had 10 strikeouts, allowed only 1 hit, and picked off a base runner. Snell is 3-0 in the postseason with a 0.86 earned run average. Reliever Blake Trenton struck out Bryce Terrain to get out of a bases-loaded jam in the bottom of the 9th. Game 2 is tonight in Milwaukee. First pitch at 5 o'clock. The largest attendance over the weekend for an HBCU football game was 44,000. That was the turnout for Jackson State's homecoming game. Jackson State, ranked number 13 in this week's NCAA Division I AA poll, defeated Alabama State 38-34. Next game for Jackson State is Saturday, October 25th in Las Vegas against Grambling. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hello, KBLA delegation. Tavis Smiley here. On Saturday, October 25th, LA Trade Tech becomes the epicenter of ideas that matter. The Left Coast Forum is bringing together voices that challenge, inspire, and illuminate with keynote presentations from people like noted economist Richard Wolff, the man who breaks down capitalism in ways that make sense to working folk like you and me, and Dr. Cornel West will be there, the brilliant philosopher and activist who never stops fighting for justice and speaking truth to power and to the powerless for that matter. So this isn't just another conference. This is where ideas get tested, where the conversations that shape our future begin. Multiple plenary sessions, dynamic speakers, real talk about the issues that impact our communities, and then some good food and a live band. Saturday, October 25th, LA Trade Tech, Left Coast Forum. The event is free and open to the public, but you must register at our KBLA1580.com website, where you can also peep the plenary topics. The future belongs to those who show up and engage. So don't just think about change, be part of the conversation that creates it. The Left Coast Forum is brought to you by the LA Progressive, the Empowerment Congress, Community Coalition, Partnership for Growth LA, Southwest Voter Registration Education Project, LA Care Health Plan, United Teachers Los Angeles, Black Progressive Action Coalition, St. John's Community Health, the National Lawyers Guild, the Weingart Foundation, and more. Space is limited, so if I were you, I'd register right now at kbla1580.com. Your voice matters. Your presence matters. We'll see you there.
Let me tell you about this girl, maybe I should. I met her in Philly, and her name was Brown. See, we be making love constantly. That's why my eyes are a shade blood burgundy. The way that we kiss is unlike any other way that I be kissing. What I'm kissing, what I'm missing, won't you listen? Brown sugar, babe. I guess high up your love, I don't know how to be. Oh, sugar, when you're close to me, you love me right down to my knees. And whenever you let me hit it, sweet like honey when it comes to me. Skin is caramel with the cocoa eyes. Even got a big sister by the name of Chocolate. Brown sugar, babe. I guess high off of love, don't know how to behave.
I'm Tavis, Smiley. In case you have not heard, we broke the news about an hour ago at the top of today's show. Today's 3-hour show. Of course, it's 3 hours every day. But at the top of the show, we announced that the amazing artist D'Angelo has passed away at the young age of 51 after a battle with pancreatic cancer. He kept that quiet, and the news has broken now all over the place. I told you over an hour ago because I knew personally that that story was about to break, and so he has in fact passed away in New York. I believe it's Sloan Kettering at the age of 51 from pancreatic cancer. We started today's program with a clip of one of my amazing conversations with D'Angelo. Turns out I am told to be his last in-depth conversation, certainly on television or radio. And we played a clip of that conversation. Tomorrow at the top of this show, at the very top of the first hour, we're going to reprise that conversation with D'Angelo. So don't miss the opening hour of tomorrow's show for our tribute to D'Angelo, the great musical artist who has passed away at the age of 51. In this hour, though, as promised today, a conversation with Shirley Sherrod. Been a long time since I talked to Shirley Sherrod. I'm honored to just hear her voice here again in just a second. Former Obama administration official who knows something about being targeted by the far right. We will hear her story. For those who don't recall what happened, we'll hear their story of how she was targeted during the Obama administration, and to my mind, thrown under the bus by the Obama administration, this brilliant black woman. That's my read. She can say what she wants to say when she comes on. But I said that to her years ago. She may recall in our conversation. I just thought they threw under the bus after being targeted by the far right. So, again, she knows something about that. We just talked to A.D. Carson, a hip-hop professor at UVA, about what it means to be on Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA's watch list of professors and the ways he's been harassed for being on that particular list. And make no mistake about it, we've discussed this many times. The Trump administration, speaking of the far right, has been going after black women like nobody's business. I mean, they went after Karen Bass here in LA where I sit. This program is syndicated across the country. And so he went after Muriel Bowser in DC, going after all these black mayors and cities that they helm. He's gone after Lisa Cook, still trying to get rid of her at the Fed. Letitia James in New York State, Attorney General. Fani Willis in Georgia. So he's got a bunch of black women on his hit list. Here is, before I get to Shirley Sherrod, Letitia James in New York, AG. talking about what she's going through right about now.
We see powerful voices trying to silence truth and punish dissent, and yes, weaponize justice for political gain. We are witnessing the fraying of our democracy, the erosion of our system of government. This, my friends, is a defining moment in our history. I know what it feels like to be attacked for just doing your job. But I also know what it feels like to overcome adversity. And so I stand on solid rock. And I will not bow. I will not break. I will not bend. I will not capitulate. I will not give in. I will not give up. You come for me. You gotta come to all of us.
That's Letitia James just yesterday, firing back at the Trump administration, who's come after her for a mortgage. That's how desperate they are. It's her today. Tomorrow it'll be Adam Schiff, senator from California. They've already teed that up. But they're using mortgages now as the way in to attack certain people. Same thing they did with Lisa Cook. But before I get too much into her personal story, I got a quick 2 minutes here right now, Shirley Sherrod, to say hello to you and just ask you one quick question. And then we got the rest of the hour when we come forward to unpack your story. But first of all, how are you? It's good to hear your voice again.
I'm good. Good to hear your voice.
It's good to hear you. What's your read? As I said a moment ago, of all these black women, literally from California to the Carolinas, who are under attack right now by this Trump administration.
Well, one thing about it, as black women, we don't give up and we don't stop. So, the attacks are going to come. They've come through the years, and we just have to keep fighting.
Yeah. Is there a particular reason that black women, to your mind, are on Trump's hit list? I mean, I'm only asking that because we all know that Joe Biden would not have been president were it not for black women. They saved his campaign in South Carolina, and his campaign revived itself. He goes on to win, and every time he got to a podium with anybody black in earshot, he made it clear that he remembered and was fully aware it was black women who saved his campaign and made him president. Donald Trump, of course, runs against a black woman named Kamala Harris. And I'm not naive. It's these black women who are bringing these charges against him. Fonnie Willis in Georgia, Letitia James won her case in New York State. But to your mind, is there anything I'm missing about why he's going after black women so much?
Well, you just answered the question.
Yeah.
Black women will organize. Black women will fight back. We've always had to do it.
Yeah. Just getting started with Shirley Sherrod. Glad we have her for the hour. Again, if you don't recall what happened to her, speaking of being targeted by the right during the Obama era, we'll let her tell her story. Glad we have a whole hour and talk about not just the attack, but more important, the fight back, because the fight back is real. When we fight, we win. Shirley Sherrod for the hour on Tavis Smiley.
Everybody's listening to Tavis. More when we come forward.
Make a move into a home of your own. With City National Bank's Ladder Up Home Loan Grant, you could receive up to $20,000 that you never need to pay back. Use it toward your down payment, save on closing costs, or to buy down your mortgage rate. Find out more at cnb.com/ladderuphome. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Property must be in a qualifying market in California, New York, or New Jersey. Additional terms and conditions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. Terms are subject to change without notice. City National Bank is an equal housing lender. Member FDIC. NMLS number 536994.
Hey, KBLA 1580 delegation, your health matters to us. We know that information is power, especially when it comes to prevention and treatment. That's why we're proud to introduce the brand new KBLA Health and Wellness Hub. This online space is built just for you, connecting our community to trusted health resources, culturally relevant care, and even access to diverse clinical trials and emerging therapies. Whether you're looking for information on common conditions, mental health support, or just want to stay on top of your wellness journey, we got you. And the best part, it's all on our website at KBLA1580.com. Accessible, empowering, community-focused. So just go to KBLA1580.com and click on the Health and Wellness Hub icon, because knowledge is power and your health is everything. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Break out the champagne. Everybody get a glass.
Tavis Smiley is now ranked number 16 nationally and the highest rated talk show hosted by an African American on the 2025 Talkers Heavy 100 list of the most important talk radio hosts in the nation. Last year, Tavis ranked number 33, and the year before, number 45. The Tavis Smiley Show has rapidly expanded its national syndication to now include nearly 50 radio stations across the country and counting. Congratulations, Tavis.
Yeah, yeah.
It's Cybersecurity Awareness Month. LifeLock is here with tips to help protect your identity. Use strong passwords, set up multi-factor authentication, report scams, and update your software. And for comprehensive identity protection, LifeLock is your best choice. LifeLock alerts you to suspicious uses of your personal information and fixes identity theft, guaranteed, or your money back. Start your protection today with a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Sometimes he fails at fitting in, but we're okay with that. You're inside the Tavis Smiley Show.
The slice, want the pie, why is why, till we fry. Watch us all, stay in line, for a slice of the devil's pie. Drugs and thugs, women, wine, 3 or 4 at a time. Watch them all, stay in line, for a slice of the devil's pie. Who am I? Justify all of you in our eye. I myself feel the high of all that I inspire. Behind the jail or in the grave, I have to leave this bed I made. And if I die before I wait, I hope the Lord don't hesitate. Get to heaven, went through hell. Tell my peeps, all is well. All them fools, souls for sale, sitting next to Jezebel. King is scream in my head, on my head, on my bed. If I hung, let me hear, get this benefit.
It's D'Angelo on Tavis Smiley. We are playing the best of D'Angelo in and out of these conversations with our roster of guests today, because in case you have not heard the news, the tragic news, D'Angelo passed away this morning in New York at the age of 51. Very quiet but protracted battle with pancreatic cancer. D'Angelo dead at the age of 51. We started today's program with a clip of one of my favorite conversations with him, and tomorrow at the top of the show tomorrow, the very first hour, we're going to reprise the best of this last conversation with D'Angelo tomorrow here on Tavis Smiley. In this hour, we continue our conversation with Shirley Sherrod, former Obama administration leader who was targeted during her tenure by the far right, and